Please subscribe my channel. I never imagined that couples counseling would feel like being in a courtroom. Sitting across from Dr. Thompson, the air between Sarah and me felt thick with strain. It wasn't only the months of small fights or the disagreements about finances. It was something much deeper, something that had been growing quietly over the years. She had this way of looking right through me, as if she saw the man I could have become instead of who I am today. "I've been keeping this inside for some time," she said, her voice quiet but firm. "David, 18 years ago, I should have married my old boyfriend instead." Those words struck me hard, like a sudden blow. My heart stopped for a moment, my chest felt tight, and I could hardly breathe. I believed we had gotten through every tough time, every money worry, every quiet evening without words. But here we were in a plain office, and Sarah shared a secret I never expected. I wanted to reply with a sharp joke, or even anger. Instead, an odd sense of peace came over me, a clear feeling that happens when your life changes in a slow but permanent way. "Are you saying that, after all this time, you wish you had picked me differently?" I asked, my voice softer than I thought it would be. She stared at her hands. "I don't wish I hadn't picked you, David. I just wonder sometimes about what might have happened. At times, I feel like I chose the safe option." That word, safe, hurt more than any harsh comment. It wasn't about our love or respect. It was about quietly doubting the life we had created together. I thought back to our beginning, the fun, the trips on the road, the deep talks late at night that made life seem like a tale we were building side by side. I remember believing Sarah truly understood me, that she was the one I wanted to spend my old age with. And now, in that instant, it all seemed weak, almost unimportant. I breathed in slowly. "Sarah," I said, picking my words with care, "if we are here to make things better, I need to understand where this idea comes from. Is it only old memories, or is it more?" She paused, her lips pressed together. Then she admitted the truth. "It's not only old memories. Sometimes I feel like something is missing. I still see my ex from time to time on social media. He looks happy. He's enjoying the kind of life I pictured for us. And I can't stop wondering." Her words faded, and I sensed the heaviness of her openness filling the silent room. Right then, I knew I had a decision: to respond with upset or with compassion. It wasn't about winning a fight or making a point. It was about facing the truth of our marriage and choosing if we would really work for it or let it fade away slowly. At last I spoke. "I won't pretend it doesn't hurt, but we came here to improve things, not to point fingers. Let's be open without hurting each other more." Dr. Thompson agreed and led us through activities that made us say out loud the emotions we had hidden for years. I was amazed at how open Sarah became, how her eyes shone with hidden worry and desire. Still, there was a hold back, a doubt that showed me the struggle wasn't finished. Then, in a calm pause, I turned a bit toward her and said, "If you connect with this tale, like and share the video to help others facing the same issues." She reacted slightly to my words, a faint smile on her face, but the strain stayed. We did the activities, discussing times we had hurt each other without meaning to. I owned up to my errors, the occasions I put my job first, the evenings I didn't truly listen, the fights I let continue instead of fixing. Sarah shared too, opening up about sorrows I had only guessed at. At one moment, I asked her to remember our best time from the start. She paused, then smiled softly, her gaze far away. "That weekend at Lake Tahoe," she said softly. "The rain trapped us in the cabin, and we just chatted for hours. It felt like nothing could harm us." I agreed, letting her words hang between us. The difference between then and now, the growing emotional gap, was clear. Yet, there was still a small link holding us. As we moved forward, I urged her on. Comment below which part of the story touches you most, or if you're dealing with something like this in your relationship, share your views. By the close of the meeting, I understood something key. It wasn't only about the choice of partner 18 years back. It was about who we chose to be now as a pair. If we could handle the truth from before without letting it break us, maybe there was a chance. But just when things began to seem clearer and nicer, Sarah stopped, her voice gentle but earnest. "David, there's something else I must say." I leaned closer a little, ready for the next truth. Her eyes carried a heaviness I hadn't noticed earlier, a mix of worry, shame, and almost a spark of hope. I sometimes think if I was really prepared to settle down back then, she murmured. Not with you, David, but with myself. I believe I picked the right person, but at the wrong moment. The room felt smaller around us. Her open words made the last 18 years seem both far away and very close. I recalled the arguments, the joy, the agreements, the efforts. And now it all looked different, not as a loss, but as part of a story not yet done. I can't change what happened, I said with care, keeping my voice even. But we are here today, and our next steps matter more than choices from 18 years ago. She agreed, pressing her lip. A tear fell, and I started to reach out, but stopped. The border between closeness and careful distance had been set so often in our marriage that even a small touch carried big weight. Dr. Thompson proposed a thinking activity. Each of us would talk for 5 minutes straight, sharing emotions without anyone judging or cutting in. When it was Sarah's time, she shut her eyes and spoke gently. I love you, David. I always have. But sometimes love alone isn't sufficient. I've been afraid. Afraid we've grown too apart. Afraid my decisions have pained you more than I know. My chest tightened too. Hearing regrets mentioned lightly was one thing. Hearing them said with real feeling and shaky truth was different. I saw then that the ache wasn't only hers, it was ours, shared but unsaid for so long. When my time came, I spoke from a deep place I seldom reach, admitting the pain, the gap, and the little hurts we had caused each other without wanting to. I felt mad at you, Sarah. I've felt bitter, but I've also been unwilling to bend. And maybe I held back kindness when you needed it most. I realize now we've both messed up. For the first time in a long while, her look softened. It wasn't full pardon yet, but it was seeing each other, the knowing that our love, even imperfect, was still there under the pain. I stopped and added, if this tale moves you, think about commenting with your own story. Sharing it out loud can help more than holding it in. The remaining time focused on real steps, setting limits, better talking ways, and hopes. We didn't fix it all, but we made room. Room to hear, room to think, room to start again. After the meeting, Sarah and I sat quietly for a bit, our hands nearly touching on the chair arm. It felt unsure, like new green shoots in early spring after cold winter. At last, I spoke first. I don't know our future, Sarah, but I know this. If we want to stay as a couple, we must face the hard truths, even when they sting. She agreed, a small smile appearing. The openness felt freeing, but scary. No quick solution, no sudden happy ending. Just the option to keep trying or to grow further apart. That night, thinking about the day, I saw how important these moments of true openness are. We had hit a sensitive spot, yes, but we had also reached the parts of us that still cared, still wished, still loved. I spoke to the camera, in a way, and said, share your opinion. Can openness like this rescue a marriage? Or is it sometimes past the point? Comment below and talk about it. Days went by. Our talks got a little simpler, less careful. The strain remained, but it changed from blame to interest. Interest in if the life we made could fit with the one we dreamed of. At one time, Sarah reached out and gently touched my hand. It wasn't a big move, but it showed a break in the barrier around our feelings. I held her hand softly back, letting myself feel hopeful. I learned that lasting through 18 years of marriage isn't about being perfect. It's not dodging errors or sorrows. It's welcoming truth, dealing with unease, and choosing on purpose. Love, I finally got it, isn't only an emotion. It's many choices made every day, even when old doubts whisper. Before ending my thoughts for the day, I said, if this tale taught you something, like comment and subscribe for more true stories about relationships, personal change, and handling the hard parts of love. Each tale here aims to spark thought and better insight. Sarah glanced at me then, her eyes glowing with soft understanding. We didn't know everything. Perhaps we never would. But for the first time in ages, it felt like we were together in the moment, as partners, facing ahead instead of behind. And driving home that night, I pondered how odd it was that one line, I should have married my ex, could cause hurt, understanding, and in the end, the chance for a fresh start. Life is untidy. Love is tricky. But truth has its own strength.